Yes, guys. So my name is Callum Dunlop, also known as Callum Dunlop Fitness on IG. So I just wanted to introduce myself. This is going to be my first YouTube video, and the purpose of what I'm going to start posting is some of the stuff that I'm dealing with at the moment inside my online community with my clients, that the things that they are struggling with, I want to start sharing with you guys as well. So today's topic is how to build discipline. So let's get into it, man. So a great quote from Marcus Aurelius: "We should discipline ourselves in small things, and from these progress to things of greater value." So people with discipline, the thing about it is people won't actually change until they're sick and tired of being sick and tired. But you'll ask me the question, Callum, why is that? Because people will always choose comfort over discipline. They will always choose the easier route in life, because to be disciplined, it's not easy. If you're ever looking to achieve any sort of goal, you have to be extremely disciplined to get to your goal. And it's easier just to choose the option which is a lot more comfortable for you. So has there ever been a time where you look back and think about how far you could have been in your life if you never give up? Because there's multiple ones that I can think about to do with business, jobs, fitness. So how do we defeat that discomfort? Something that you need to ask yourself when you're choosing the comfort route: is this actually adding value into my life? When you know that you could be reading 10 pages of a book tonight, but you just say, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow." Is this actually adding any value to your life? Is this decision helping me get towards my goal? Like, stop the do it tomorrow attitude. There's so many times in my life where, like, I've wrote out a checklist and I've done 3 out of the 5 things that I need to do for the day. And there's those 2 left, and I go, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow." And then tomorrow turns into next week. And if you really are serious about your goals, you need to kind of just keep being disciplined and doing the things even on the days that you don't want to. So how can you get discipline to destroy the regret of not making the decision that you know that you should be making? Discipline is the art of doing something no matter how you feel. It saves you on the days that you lack motivation, and discipline will save you on the days where you will just wake up and, like, say for example, you've woke up 3 out of the 5 days that you're going to be training in your split, and you've been buzzing to go into the gym, and then there's just 2 of those days in that week where you're really not wanting to push forward. You're saying, "Oh, I'll just have a rest day today. I'll train towards the end of the week," even though you know you're supposed to be training on that day. Discipline, it will keep you intact when the days that you just do not want to feel motivated at all. But first of all, if you handle the basics on these things, this is going to just help you in general to feel a lot more disciplined and feel a lot more motivated as well. So the basics: sleep, making sure you're getting in around 7 to 8 hours. Like, I even know this morning, for example, I had to get up at 5 o'clock to coach a class at 6:30, and I made sure that I had my 7.5 hours sleep last night, because if I didn't get that, I just know that I would not be showing up the next day to be the best version of myself. Diet as well. Obviously, depending on your goal, if you're in a calorie surplus, you're trying to gain muscle. If you're in a calorie deficit, you're trying to lose fat. Only you know if you're really cheating that diet yourself. No one else. Instead, you could be telling your coach, "Yeah, I've hit my 200 grams of protein for the day," when you've only hit 170. In reality, you're the only person that you're cheating yourself. So we want to sway away from that. And exercise as well. If you'd be surprised at how many problems that you have in your life, like, can be removed by you just mastering those 3 basics. Most people think that the problems are a lot bigger than what they actually are. And if you just master these 3, they're really, really simple. You're going to see progression within your life. So how I use discipline in my life: I used to set goals completely the wrong way. I used to set my goals far too big. Like, I used to say to myself that how I'm going to train 7 days a week, and I'm going to be I'm going to be fighting in 2 months' time when like I have a lot of weight to lose and I've kind of been completely inconsistent with training. So the best way to kind of set goals is make them realistic. Start with those micro goals, uh, like in each specific day, and make sure you bring that into the next day. Consistency compounds. Even if you're only getting better that 1% each day, then you're going to be improving. And this is the thing, when you set goals that are too big, it can throw you off, and then you just feel complete regret when you don't hit them at all, and then you would just end up completely just giving up, and then the cycle just repeats, and then the motivation comes back to set more goals. You set the goals are too big, and then you don't hit them again, and then you just completely give up. The goals that I used to set, I couldn't control that I couldn't control it with the actions. Like, I used to set goals where I couldn't control it with the actions. So things that were just completely unrealistic for me to achieve. So how to change your identity with discipline. I went from regularly drinking and taking drugs to completely teetotal. Now, this didn't happen overnight. This was about, I'd say, an 18-month period where each time I would go out less and less and less. And the more you kind of stop doing activities that are adding any value to your life and not helping you get towards your goal, you start to realize, like, is this even really worth my time? And it went from kind of drinking one day every week to kind of one day every 2 weeks, once a month, to then once every 2 months. Then it just got to the stage where I was like, there's no positives anymore. This is just, all the negatives are completely outweighing the positives. And I changed the way I looked at myself. I realized, like, I looked myself at the guy in the mirror that wanted to be better, that was waking up each day with hunger and desire to be the best version of himself. And I realized that all these little activities were just holding me back from getting there. So I just completely stopped doing it. Unfortunately, when you're looking to progress in life, your circle will get smaller, and unfortunately you will have to remove yourself with the people who you used to have those bad habits with. Now, I'm kind of basing this around alcohol and drugs because that was what was really bad for me, but you could have other friends that have bad habits where, like, they speak badly about other people or talk behind other people's back, and like, if it's just not adding any value to your life, just do not waste the time. So when you're kind of going back to making the goals, make the goals specific to the change in your identity. So, like, I've always been someone that's kind of had an all or nothing mindset. So I know that if I want to do something, I'm going all in. So if it's either I can just stop alcohol, and then I set myself a challenge like the 75 hard challenge, which was no drinking for 75 days. So it was a complete 180 on what my current habits were. But for some people, they would struggle and need to kind of do the things less and less and less. But I was able to just completely switch. But those goals were based on the new identity of the person that I wanted to become. So it means that it was a lot harder for me to break that because I was so hungry to be this new person that I was trying to be. And yeah, like, when these goals, like I said before, these don't happen overnight. So stop looking for that quick fix and embrace the suffering. You have a lot more willpower than you think. Like, I am the definition of, I've tried every business idea under the sun. I've had multiple jobs. I've tried like a lot of different sports and ended up giving up after a couple of weeks when the going got tough. And like, you need to stop that self-doubt and embrace the failure, because there's so many times when I could have just been on the brink of where I could have started to get good at this particular habit, or even in business when I've given up and said, oh, this isn't for me anymore. I'm not getting any success. I could have literally been on the doorstep of success if I just kept moving forward and ticking those boxes. So when the going, you need to associate positive with hard times. Nothing in life worth doing comes easy. So when the pressure's on, you got to put the foot down and start moving forward. So what success really does come down to, it's figuring out that perfect routine on the days you don't want to do it. And that's when the real discipline comes in. Oh, Sorry, guys. So that's when the real discipline comes in. You want to be putting your foot on the gas and doing your routine even on the days that you don't want to. That's when real discipline comes in, and doing it over and over again. It really is that simple. A saying that I'm absolutely obsessed with is just never miss. If you never miss, you're going to get close to your goals. The universe is a very given place. If you tick all the boxes that you know that you need to tick to get to your goal, it's inevitable what's going to happen. Time just hasn't caught up yet. Success is around the corner for you. So yes, guys, that's my take on discipline today. If there's anything you need help with, drop some comments in the comments section. Make sure to drop me a follow on IG, Callum Dunlop Fitness, and let's get ready to work, guys.